Welcome to Wheels, Deals, and Meals, where we talk all things good food, good business, and good cars. And now, here is your host, Arnold Garcia, founder and CEO of Petra Automotive Products. Let's roll.
Well, this is what we were waiting for, Ulises. Chuck talked about it beforehand. We might have talked about it during,
I know.
and now we're here. So thank you for letting us do this again.
Absolutely.
Here at your place.
Thanks for doing it here.
Ulises and his wife are the owner of Eden Café. If you're ever in the Magnolia area or Houston area for that matter, the hospitality, the people, the quality of the food is incredible. Everything is good, but I'm going to tell you, we talked about it a minute ago.
We did.
We both think this is the best lasagna in town.
I'm telling you.
You know,
Thank you.
a Cuban
Don't say
with
that
the
too
best.
I have Italian chefs that I learned that from, and they may not like that too.
Ulises, how did you get into this business?
Arnold, I started washing dishes when I was in high school, and I never got out. I was part of the opening team of the first Pappasitos on the face of the planet.
Oh, wow.
And now, I've been in the business almost 40 years, so you can imagine that back then.
How long were you with Pappasito?
Almost 9 years.
Because that's an incredible education. Right?
That's where I got my training. I went to the University of Houston, but I didn't feel the need to study hotel and restaurant management because I was getting hands-on training
It wasn't book.
Chris and Harris,
Yeah.
which are amazing restaurateurs and that. So I learned the business there. Went on to Carrabba's. And Johnny and Damien taught me a lot about food and Italian food. And then I worked for the Palm for a few years. Became a director of ops and traveled a lot. He says he's looking forward to traveling. I couldn't do it after a while. It's glamorous at first, but and then my wife and I in 2006 said let's just do our own. We've been here 17 years.
Was she in the restaurant business?
I met her at Pappasito. She was a manager at another store, and we met at a Christmas party. Yeah, that's another story.
Good old Pappasito Christmas party.
You know how many couples have come out of that?
Really?
So many of us that met there and married our partners at... Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that went through the chain. I don't know how many restaurants they have now, but...
No, they're a great company. Great organization.
They're everywhere.
They're spoken very highly of.
They taught me systems. They taught me a lot of stuff. I can't really cover.
So as you were in school working for Pappasitos, washing dishes very young, Pappasitos, Carrabba's, Palm, and then your own place, right?
Yeah. The washing dishes was at a cafeteria, a Marriott cafeteria inside of Texas Instruments.
Oh wow!
In Sugar Land. In Sugar Land.
No kidding.
Yeah. The chain, people dropping their trays. I just got the bug, man. I love the energy. I love the... so...
But nobody can say you can't wash dishes.
No, I've worked every position, but which is what you need to do in this business. Too many people get into the restaurant business. They don't really understand every side. And I completely discourage that. You really need to understand.
I agree. I had a friend that wanted to start this business. I won't tell you what it was, but I said, I wouldn't start any business that you didn't work in it for.
Yeah.
To learn it, to understand it, to see if that's really what you want to do.
If you want to open a coffee shop, you better get a job at a...
I worked 18 years before I opened Petra. For another company, a very large company, right? You started as a janitor.
Yeah.
Working for, dealerships and working your way up through the system.
Yeah.
You see it from the bottom.
Yeah.
So you gotta do what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think the people that are in those positions appreciate the fact that you appreciate them and you know how valuable they are.
Right.
I mean, I got employees here that have been with me 15, 14 years. Gabi was my first hire 17 years ago because they know that I know what they have to go through, In our training, we put our people through other positions besides what they're hired for. They spend a day, like a server spends a day following a busser and a day following a hostess, because those people impact your world within the restaurant. So they have to know what's going on outside of your little world, so they don't become, too self-centered. But anyways, I don't want this to get cold,
No,
so
no,
I
come
want
on,
you all
let's
to
go.
enjoy it.
All right.
The lasagna is
start
probably
here.
one of our best sellers. We've sold tons of that over the years, especially for big parties.
Grab
People get it in big trays for large groups, and they.
Oh yeah.
Some people have figured out that I can layer it, not bake it, and give them cooking instructions, and then they bake it at home so that the house smells like they made it. And I don't mind giving away the credit.
No guest knows unless they've been here and go, this looks familiar.
Yeah, this tastes like. And the thank you.
What?
The marinara's homemade. Is 100% ground beef. Again, things that I learned from great Italian chefs, man.
What? So tell me, in Pappasitos, what do you think you learned that helped you in these business?
Systems.
Organization.
Harris is he's a mastermind of organization, inventories, putting things in the kitchen in the right place, first in, first out, organizing your coolers. Just the man's a genius. So is Chris. I mean, both of them. Greg, rest in peace, was the guy in charge of development and finding locations and building new Pappasitos, but the other two were operations. Every time Harris walked into a store and 10:15. Who's the MOD? I am, sir. Okay, follow me.
No kidding.
An hour and a half taking notes. Is your GM here? No, sir.
Where's your GM?
Not today.
Why isn't he not
okay?
here?
Give him these notes. I'll call him later. Hey. Military, man. Military.
Do they still own a family now? Do the family still own Pappas?
They do. They're still. In fact, the Landry's people have offered them many times to buy them, and they remain private.
Wow.
That's one of the few brands that Tillman hasn't touched.
Yeah.
Who knows?
He touched the palm, right?
Oh yeah, palm
he
is
touched the
hell.
palm,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got it low hanging fruit too. And the salmon, that lemon butter we make every day, and I learned that from Johnny. And the lemon butter gets thrown out at the end of the night. You just can't reuse lemon butter.
Oh, really?
So it's fresh every day. Wine, butter, thyme. It's just a really good compliment to that fish. And
Is this menu pretty much the way you started it? The menu, when you started, is it still kind of the same?
there
or
are
you've added change?
There are some
learned?
There are some things that are still there. The meatloaf was there at the very beginning. The Cuban sandwich was there at the very beginning. There's a few things that have stood the test of time. The lasagna was there, but it has evolved over the years. Whether, for example, lasagna, it was at the beginning on the board as a special on Italian Wednesday. Well, and we just couldn't keep up, so people said, you got to have this on the menu every day. You can't just have it on Wednesdays or whatever. So he made the menu. So there's been things throughout the years that have gone from just a feature once a week to the menu. But I would say
it's hot enough, people love it, let's put it on.
pretty much that's been my formula. I think probably about 60% of the menu was there in 2006. The rest of the stuff, specials,
As time goes
cooks that I've hired that have knowledge from other places. We've sat down, we've collaborated. I give them a lot of license because if I know that they have the gift, show me. I got out of the kitchen years ago. man. I was there in the beginning cooking, but I don't do it anymore because those guys are better than me, and the last thing I want to do is be in their way. So yeah. So I asked you how you wanted it because we do cook it to temperature. I like my salmon medium rare to medium. Some people like it well done. It is what that's fine. But I think the salmon has to have temperature, and the spinach is sautéed in garlic and oil. That's baby fresh spinach.
That looks delicious.
You know what they say, man? Eat fish, live longer.
So my nutritionist is telling me you eat fish, right? Fish is
Fish.
My grandfather lived to be 98, and he ate sardines.
Yeah, my dad.
Like, out of the can, okay?
That's funny. That's so funny.
And I remember I would go to his house and get, like sardines out of a can. And the guy
Is that a Cuban
with his
thing?
favorite-
'Cause
I guess
my
it's a Cuban
dad
thing.
my dad is 83 and he has this
The sardine thing.
obsession with sardines, man. You go to the house, there's like 10 cans of it.
And it's in cans.
Yeah.
But now you find out that it's very healthy for you.
Well,
You know?
he messes it up. He adds mayo to it and makes a sardine salad.
I don't know, but how old is he?
83. He's doing samurai.
He's something.
Yeah.
My grandfather lived to be 98. He's doing
Sardines and scotch. I guess that's a good recipe to follow. I don't know. Anyways,
Okay, so you learned operations from Pappasito. What about Carrabba? So what would you learn there?
food, how to cook, food. I don't. The passion that Johnny and Damien have for food was off the charts. But you know, after they did the deal with Outback, they went on to do Mia's Table, Gracie's. They have all the concepts.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but the Carrabba's brand is an Outback thing now, which is still pretty successful. I mean, Outback knows what they're doing. But Johnny
There's a
wasn't ready.
special touch in Carrabba's.
Johnny wasn't ready to open 50 restaurants a year, which was the pace that Outback wanted at the very beginning. I think eventually they figured it out, but
The salmon's amazing.
thank you.
All right. So, what do you think is some of the secrets that make you so successful? Everybody loves you in this area. You're always packed. We were just talking about how lunch, dinner, you're always packed. Why do you think people love this place so much?
Arnold, everything's a people business. I know the food helps. I get that, and our standards have to be high here too. But you know as well as I do.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't sell a single automobile or if you didn't have the right people.
No, 100%. No matter what you say.
So I think the staff that I have is what makes us who we are. It's the people. It's the regulars that come in and ask for Carlos, ask for Alma, ask for Gabby. They ask for their favorites. And it's been 17 years of that. And it's just the hospitality, the treatment.
17 years, same location?
We've been here since
Says a
06.
lot, right?
We've been here since 06. So these guys, they get that we can't afford to lose anybody in the slowest day. And of course, if I'm here shaking hands and kissing babies, and Maria's here running food, and we're here hands-on, it lets them know, okay, you know, we need to be engaged, and hospitality is a core value. I have 5 core values. Hospitality is one of them, and we always talk about this because hospitality is one of them, not just to them, but also amongst ourselves. You know. So, you know, respect, hospitality, honesty, consistency, and teamwork, those 5. And I always tell, like Alex, I say, I want the same Alex every day. You want the same Ulises every day.
Right. Exactly.
So I need you to be the same Alex daily. You can't come in one day low, the next day high. I don't mean high.
No. It's game day.
Yeah. So many times I've said, you guys need to be here today like it was the first day we opened. You remember that excitement when we opened in 06? October 16, 2006. That excitement needs to be today after 17 years. So that creates an environment of...
And because excitement is contagious.
It is,
I say that in my
absolutely.
office too, right? People walk into our element, they'll feel the momentum, they'll feel the excitement.
Yeah,
Or the opposite.
right. The energy is very palpable, and your customers pick it up. Our clientele is very smart. You know, so they know, and a lot of them. Sometimes I pass by and I hear them. You know, do you like working here? Because they want to make sure the people they're in love with are being taken care of.
Right. It becomes a family.
And then
Even you have people come like every Friday. Certain group comes every Friday. Certain group comes every Saturday. They're like, this is where I go to every Friday, right?
Well, this is going to be public, so I can't really go down the names of the regulars, but I can tell you who's going to be here Tuesday for taco salad.
Oh, wow.
You know, Wednesday for chicken parmesan, Thursday for the chicken pot pie.
Oh, wow.
God forbid that I don't have chicken pot pie for Tom and his wife. Fish and chips on Friday.
Oh, wow.
So
What is chicken pot pie?
Chicken pot pie Thursday.
Thursdays, I gotta come.
We gotta do it
I
Thursday.
love chicken pot pie.
Needed to. I did too.
We always run out. Call me.
Okay.
Make
No,
sure you reserve one, cause yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of regulars that are hooked on the food, and you know, some people said, you know, I mean, for 17 years you've had pretty much the same menu. You know, that's okay. You know,
Well, it is because people, again, you talk about family, hospitality, making sure the waiters are taken care of. If they're coming here every Thursday, this is their go-to place or whatever, it's family. It becomes a family. You're seeing that person once a week at dinner.
And we're very blessed, Arnold. It's more than we have people that come here three times a week.
Wow.
I mean, we're surrounded by restaurants. Some of them are really good, and they still. That's one thing that I always tell my staff: realize that they're walking in, choosing to eat here in spite of everybody else who's got tables and chairs. So we need to protect that. So for 17 years, I've been encouraging them to protect that constant flow. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I could learn some things from you and your business because you're very successful too. Some of those things that you do can apply here, right?
I kind of wish that people would come and see me 3 times a week, though. That'd be a lot more successful.
That would be good.
That'd be a lot of
lot
cars.
of autos. Yeah.
No,
About a car every 3 weeks.
We have referred some people here, and I mean, they say it's probably some of the best food. I think ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't know when somebody walks in the door what kind of day they're having, and they kind of want to release, especially around food, right? It could be a comfort food. You don't know what's going on in their life, and that's why I tell our employees, I said, when that employee comes in, that service driver, or their customer comes in, a service driver comes in that door, you don't know what's going around them. You don't know if they just had a car accident or what's going on in their life. Maybe they had a family member pass away. So they come to us a little bit to get a good experience, forget some of that stuff, I think the same way with food. I know that we gather around food when you have good times and bad times, for all things of life. You don't know what's going on. You have meals to discuss business, family matters, and maybe a tragedy and stuff like that. And I think that coming in here was a great experience. I mean, I got to tell you, man, my wife absolutely loves the lasagna because we're big lasagna people, but she's more, obviously, this is probably some of the best salmon that I've eaten, and we've been all over. So she gives you... She says it's the best she's ever had.
I'll send one to go for her. And he says something, when you're here for that many years, you see both sides of the spectrum. You see the kids that started eating here at 4, that were on a booster seat, and they're now meeting their parents here, driving. Parents still paying for the bill.
Right.
Sure.
Well, I don't know if that ever changes.
They drive, they meet them here, they eat, and they go, see you, Dad, and they take off. Okay? They used to come here in a carrier.
That's amazing.
But the other side of the spectrum is also true, where we have a lot of widows that we know them intimately. I spoke last year at 2 different memorial services for regulars that said, we need you to
But
talk.
that's sad, but what an honor
It was for me.
that meant that them coming here and that person that passed away meant so much that they asked you to speak at the funeral because this meant something.
Or a lot of the staff went to the Green's memorial service for his wife, and he was up there speaking and recognized the people that had showed up, Maida, Sophia, Carlos, and said, that was our home. So that's very touching.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And then, of course, they come alone now because this is still their home. Last year was a tough year, more so than COVID in 2020, which we lost a lot of people during that. Last year, it seemed like it was like one news after another. We were like, hey, what's going on? But again, it's after being here, building relationships for 17 years that happens. Now, in the one that I spoke at, it was interesting because he actually got involved with us in the film that I was involved with about a veteran with post-traumatic stress.
Yeah.
And his son-in-law is a chaplain in the Marines. So we got connected, learned a lot about that world. And they became a part of things that I was doing more so than just being a customer. So, that was why I had a connection with them deeper than serving them a meal. And that, of course, has been my world for since 2015.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that because you are this, restaurant owner of a very successful restaurant, but you've also shifted a little bit in acting, right? So you've done roles, correct me if I'm wrong, more true stories, faith-based, your latest role is Paul
Yeah.
So just like they're doing the movie or the series The Chosen,
Yeah.
they're thinking about doing a series called Paul. This is Paul.
Paul the Last Apostle. I get to play 2 characters, Saul and.
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah. Fair enough.
We got to go back
Right.
and show his life.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
right.
His
That's
transformation.
Right. That is right. So you get to
So,
play 2 people.
Yeah.
Two literally different people, really.
Very.
Same person, but 2 different people.
Yeah.
So how did you get into that? What did you wake up one day and go, you know what? I'm gonna go be an actor.
No. Well, I was studying at
And your
U of
wife
A.
is going, oh my God.
She knew when she married me what she was getting into. In college, I was an engineering major before I changed my whole future and said, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to do this. So I was taking some, I was trying to finish credits, like, what do they call those? It's the things you have to take.
Yeah.
And I needed an art credit.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I'll just take acting 1. You know, that was the only one that was open. Yeah, why not? I was sitting in class. I read a couple of things that the professor, who happened to be the director of the current play, Dr. Tom Little, rest in peace, he said, I want you to audition for the play this semester. He cast me in the show,
fuck.
and I never got out of it. So I did theater for the first few years of that, college and then beyond. It's all stage work. Loved it. Just different roles. I got an award for playing coach in that championship season. I don't know if you're familiar with that. They made it into a movie.
I've heard of the movie.
Yeah, that championship season. It's a coach, an old coach who gets his players together. They cheated on their championship game in high school.
Oh, wow.
So the rest of their lives have been just losers, even though they won that state championship. It's a very good story. I played coach, and I got an award for that. I had I incorporated a little shake because he was an older man, much older man, mean. He was a nasty role. I would walk down the hallway at U of H, and the kids would kind of like, because they thought I was that. They thought I was that nasty.
Funny.
And then I took a break to focus on growth in Carrabbas in the restaurant world. And about 15 years ago, I picked it back up. But this time with film, because I felt very drawn to do faith-based stuff. And the first one was that movie about the veteran coming home from Afghanistan with post-traumatic stress.
Wow.
And that's led to me meeting other people in the business, being cast in different things, and now we're doing Paul. Did a comedy we just wrapped last week. It's called Empty Nets. A group out of Colorado called Kingdom Sight Studios. And again, it's a first century comedy. Jesus is alive, but it's more of a lighter story. And yeah, then I'm working on Paul, man, and that's a heavy role.
That's a heavy role, and I hope it hits.
Yeah, me too. I think there's a shift in filmmaking right now with more products like that people want to see. I think people are tired of the same old remakes or just films that aren't edifying or you just don't want your family, your children to see.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think. Obviously, I think there's faith people, right? But I think you don't necessarily have to be somebody that's going to church every Sunday to say, I'd like to see something other than, right? The same old stuff. And that inspires you and teaches you and, makes you feel good or challenges you on maybe I could be better. Which I think that will be Paul in every way, shape, or form, right?
Well, it's history that's being taught. It's history. It's coming out if you don't go to church, right?
Right.
It's not being taught in our schools, for sure.
Correct.
So if you have a little bit of a wondering about it, you try to search for something because not necessarily be at church. I think there's some people that don't want to go, but they want to be a part of something, right?
That series shows that they say it's like, 20 to 26 years old are the ones that are watching it.
Yeah.
The young people that are watching it and they love it.
The biggest impact I think they've had is for the unchurched.
Correct.
The folks that have said, I want nothing to do with that. But then here's this cool character called Jesus that I want to get to know.
Yeah.
So with Paul, it's more of a, it doesn't matter how bad you've been and you think you're completely done and God will never give you a shot. If you can do that with Saul, Imagine what he could do with your life. So that's the main
You
message.
gotta be a cool Paul, okay?
That would be fun.
You gotta be a cool Paul. Favorite place you've traveled or would like to travel to on your bucket list?
Italy,
Italy. That you've been to?
3 times.
Yeah. Any particular part of Italy that you really like?
Florence.
Florence. Florence is great too.
However, I'm very curious about the southern part of Italy because every time we've gone, I went on my own twice, and I went there with a wine company, and we explore the Tuscan region. But it always stops in Rome. You know, Siena, San Gimignano,
Yeah, yeah. Everything
Florence,
stops in
Rome.
Rome.
And then Rome, they leave you alone for a few days, then you head back.
Right.
I want to go southern, and I want to go to Sicily. I want to visit that side. Because I've heard it's completely different.
I hear that.
Cuisine-wise,
that
people-wise, all that. So I would love to go back. I would love to go back to Spain because I lived there before.
Yeah.
And it's changed a lot since Franco died, right?
Yeah.
The 70s that's a different Spain altogether.
Venice is fun. I enjoyed Venice. I was telling him earlier today. I thought Venice is one of the best places I've been to.
Because of the work I'm doing, one of my goals is to go to Jerusalem and go to Israel, hopefully with a group because I need somebody there that will be teaching us and coaching us throughout the week, but also do the steps of Paul, Greece, Turkey.
You know Jeff, right? Jeff
Yeah,
Wells.
he's taken a group, or he took a group recently.
He already took a group. He's
Yeah.
taking another one following the steps of Paul in October.
Oh, in October?
Yeah.
You know my pastor over at Restoration,
Uh-huh.
Greg Johnson. He's taken a group to Israel in 2025. I'm signing up for that.
Perfect.
So I have till then to make that a reality and save.
And nothing better than to go with your
it's-
pastor
it's
on
not,
a private.
It's not cheap. Yeah.
Nothing better to go with your pastor on a like a little private tour.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, that's.
But they have guys there that know. In fact, my mother-in-law just got back from her second trip, and she goes, the guy that was guiding us, most knowledgeable guy about the Bible I've ever met, even more so than our pastor, not a Christian. He was from the other side of the wall. But he knew everything about the history.
Study.
Oh, he was so knowledgeable. But didn't believe it. That's all.
Yeah. What's your favorite food?
I'm into seafood lately. A lot of fish. Sea bass, salmon. I eat a lot of
I'm
salmon.
surprised you didn't say Cuba. But I'm not because my favorite is not Cuban. People think I'm crazy, but my favorite is not Cuban.
I guess because I grew up eating it.
I think so. I like it.
Yeah.
I love Cuban.
Oh,
food.
I go to my parents. I have to eat it.
But it's not my go-to. You know what I mean?
Christmas time, Thanksgiving time.
Chocolate asado,
It's Cuban food and the family. Absolutely. But on a daily, I don't think so. Not Cuban. I usually gravitate towards Italian seafood. If anything, that combination.
Maybe it's your Pappasitos, Carrabbas.
Who knows? Maybe that did influence me.
What was Pappa's first restaurant? Was it seafood? Pappa's seafood.
Dot Coffee Shop. Still there.
The one over there on 45.
Is it really?
Dot Coffee Shop was their first. But the Pappas, before going into the restaurant business, were refrigeration people.
Oh wow.
Pete Pappas before Chris and Harris, the owner of Pappas Refrigeration, and then from going into restaurants, installing walk-in coolers and all that, they migrated into Dot Coffee Shop, and then that.
That's funny because
Remember Strawberry Patch on Westheimer?
Yeah.
Those are some of their earlier.
And it's funny you say that because isn't the story of Ray Kroc from McDonald's that he sold them the shake machine?
Yeah.
I
That's a
believe so.
great film.
That is It's a
He
great
was
story.
selling them shake machines and then thought, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. You're in the real estate business. You're not in the burger business.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great movie.
It really is. Well, listen, Ulises, thank you for letting us be here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Your story is great. Your food is wonderful. Your people are great. Chuck, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
Appreciate
great to
it
get
so
with
much.
you again, man. It's good to see you.
Would love to chat and
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
break some bread again.
Yeah, definitely do that soon, man, for sure. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Wheels, Deals, and Meals, your main source for all things good and fun, business, food, and cars. If you like this episode, make sure to rate us and subscribe. If you would like to be a guest on our show, please leave a message at the link below. Until next time, happy eating.